that would be awesome. Just a brief intro for those of you that don't know who I am. I'm Kim Leskovic. I'm an essential oil educator and wellness coach, and I'm really passionate about helping people find what it is that lights them up each day, that has them enthusiastic about their purpose and their passions. And I do this by introducing them and coaching them with essential oils. So I'm actually gonna try to see how I can add. Here we go. I'm adding Alisha right now. Hi Mom, hi Shannon, hi Tom. You guys are on here. Yay! Is this vertical for you?
Yeah. I mean,
okay.
It's for me, so.
Cool. So yeah, I was just giving people a little brief introduction of who I am and kind of my mission and stuff. And then I was just going to do a little introduction about what we're going to be talking about and a little bit about you, and then I'll let you kind of take over on your mission and stuff like that. So yeah, so what we're going to be talking to you guys about, the hashtag to this little live cast is Happy Highest You, and it just kind of came to me intuitively. I've been meditating on kind of whether to start a group and stuff like that, and then I just got the intuitive hit to start a live cast. And so I'm really passionate about like talking with people and just really bonding over wellness and living a healthy lifestyle in general. So I think this is really cool that it's coming to fruition and stuff like that. So yeah, Happy Highest You. We're going to be talking all about like chakras, how Alisha lives her Zen Babe lifestyle, and a little bit about alignment and flow and how the chakras help us to stay in that. So Alisha is one of my mentors and in the business industry, but also just in life in general. And I've known her for about a year now, and I wouldn't be where I am today without our relationship and our growth together. So thank you for saying yes to this live cast and coming on here. And I know you are the go-to person to go to for chakras. And yeah, you just want to tell us a little bit about yourself and why you're interested in the chakras in general.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me. I'm so honored to be the first guest on this really cool series. I love the name. I think it's awesome. Yeah, where do I even start? So I guess I am a spiritual wellness teacher and a business mentor, right? And so one of my biggest passions is connecting people with spiritual tools to help them heal themselves so that they can live out their fullest potential and just live the life that they're supposed to live and really just ultimately find their purpose and live their purpose, okay? And so for me, when I was a yoga teacher prior to what I do now, I found the chakras, and like it was like I've known them forever. I felt like when I started to learn them, I was like, this just comes to me so easily. Like, you know, you just learn something, you're like, I've known this for many more lives since now. Like I just know. So yeah, ever since then I taught a workshop on it at a yoga studio, and that was basically it. So since then I've just been on this mission to teach as many people as I can about them, because I really see it as this like map, right? This wellness map of living your best life, of seeing like where there's a block in yourself and what you can do to help you heal yourself, right? Because it's not doing the healing for you, it's helping you to see how you can be your own guru, how you can be your own self-healer, right? And then I connect you with the tools of what to do and how you can do it for yourself. So it's not like I tell you how to do it. I basically just facilitate you figuring out how to better understand yourself. Okay, so in a nutshell, it's a lot of like energy work, and it really just comes down to like mind body connection of, you know, what's going on, how am I feeling, okay, you know, using this map, where can I connect with myself, and what are the things that I can do to bring myself like back to alignment. And so a couple of things that I love to teach within like chakras, helping them bring it back to balance, are essential oils, personal development, meditation, and of course, yoga.
Perfect. So you kind of mentioned like this energy work, just a little tidbit as we start this. If you could briefly explain what the chakras are.
Yes, that's a good question.
They're not, but I know they're but where are they located? How do they work, etc.?
I have a picture right here, actually. Okay, so this is our body, obviously, and everything is made of energy, right? So we're just all completely of energy, and chakras are just the 7, what they're considered are the 7 main energy centers in our bodies, and then they're broken down into these 7 main ones, and so this is where they're located on our bodies. And so what they are is, think of them as just like these spinning wheels, these spinning vortexes of energy. And throughout your lives and throughout your day, just your everyday, there are like situations and events and things that happen. Your chakras, like according to each one, you will process that information into different ways. And so if a situation or a circumstance or something that happened throughout the day wasn't like the most pleasant thing, then according to like what happened, so maybe like, for example, maybe someone said something that was super hurtful to you, and it was someone that you loved, and they said something like really hurtful. And so what can happen in your heart chakra, this is all, you know, where your love center is, right? The love energy center. So you might actually feel that in your heart, just that energy kind of close up because you're receiving that information as it's something bad, something wrong, something hurtful, and then you close it up, right? And then there's all these other things that can happen and manifest as a result of it. So maybe then your heart literally hurts, or you start to cough, or you get like shallow breathing, right? Because this is kind of connected to where everything is. So, and then, yeah, in a nutshell, they're just energy centers that are in your body that have a lot to do with how you feel physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually.
Perfect. Yeah. So as we both have mentioned, we're really, we both really believe in that mind, body, spirit connection. And so these chakras literally are focused around like how situations are coming up in your body, how they're coming up emotionally, and kind of like she said. So one of the things kind of going off of your heart chakra that I wanted to ask you was a lot of times as like specifically me as an entrepreneur, and for some of those watching, we tend to feel shame or like kind of discouragement when we're not being as present in our relationships. So is there some little tricks that you do to kind of work with your heart chakra to, I don't know if the presence would be a different chakra, but kind of just work on relationships while also managing like a business?
Yeah, for sure. So honestly, the biggest thing that is related to help okay, so working with your heart chakra for relationships. Heart chakra is all about relationships, right? Your sacral chakra is too, but that's more like the sexual component to it. Your heart chakra is like the love component, right? And the best thing to open your heart is always forgiveness. So forgiveness will always set yourself free and will always set your heart chakra free no matter what. So when it comes to relationships, it's just this constant state of forgiving the other person and remembering their humanness, but then also forgiving yourself for when you mess up too. And so the more that you can do that and remember, like, take it easy, you know, like in the beginning of my relationship, I've been with my husband now for 11 years. And the heart chakra has helped me a ton with just, you know, letting things go more and like just totally forgetting and accepting, right? Full acceptance of myself and full acceptance of him, right? Instead of like the judgment. Okay, so before my heart was closed, I was judging so much more, and then the fights would happen a lot easier. Whereas now I'm much more like focused on just complete acceptance and complete forgiveness of him and then myself too, right? So then it's so much easier to go and say, I'm really sorry that I just said that thing. I am clearly mad at myself for something and I took it out on you. But I think that the more you work on your heart and understand that concept, and the easier it is, the better you get at the forgiveness, you know, concept, which will set you free.
That's so awesome. It reminded me of like right before I came on this call, like normally I get kind of stressed out right before like a live video or just having like a project to do, and I feel like I was way more just like, Kim, make a joke, like have fun, like laugh with my boyfriend. But so it was just, and then like do what you need to do to get back in the alignment before your thing. Like I meditated. So, yeah, so that kind of just related. But So I know you're running this 7-day chakra series right now that I actually participated in a year ago. So I was wondering, for those that might be interested in this challenge and for those that might be interested in the 7-week digital course possibly, what are the top 3 feelings that this course has the ability to help you to grow or shift into a new feeling? So basically, like, who is it for, with a feeling associated?
So most people come and take this challenge and then eventually the course when they're feeling stuck, really uninspired, really just kind of like they're living just a low vibe life, right? And by the end, a lot of people, even with just 7 days of intentional work of the chakras with the free challenge that I'm doing that you experienced the first time around, a lot of people will already start to feel more happy, more alive, more free, more creative. And then when you really, that's just in 7 days, right? And then in like the course, over the course of the 7 weeks, as long as like you do the course, as long as you do the work, by the end of it, you will feel like a completely new person. So I really designed this for people who just want to like transform themselves so that they can be more in alignment with, you know, following their dreams and attaining their goals, right? And so when you're in better alignment and you feel better about yourself and your energy has shifted and everything is like more aligned and you feel happier and you feel more connected to the earth and to your higher power and to yourself, and your relationships are better, then everything else flows, including you chasing your dreams. And if that's a business like we're doing, then of course that, you know?
Yeah, totally. And you kind of answered this next question, but what would you say would be, like, for me, it was kind of relationships came, like, by taking the course, relationships just like started to thrive more as an outcome for me. What are like top 3 that people tend to kind of say they transformed the most after taking
yeah,
the course?
you did 3. That's a tough one because there's been so many people who've taken it. They've transformed so many different areas and, you know, aspects of their lives that it's kind of hard to narrow it down to like 3 things. But if I had to, I would say definitely relationships are probably one of the biggest ones, like transforming their relationships with other people because they transformed their relationship with themselves. You know, so if you're having issues with relationships with other people, it's just because you're having that inner turmoil within and you're just taking it out on other people, right? And so the more peace you have within, the less that you're taking that out on others. And so that's like a huge achievement, right?
Yeah, that's achievements out
of the course, for sure. Another one is connecting and understanding what their spirituality is. So for me, before I learned about the chakras, I was like super confused about my beliefs, okay? And I almost thought it was easier to just not have any. And when I did that, it actually caused more issues and depression and anxiety in my life. And so I thought that it had to look a certain way and it had to be, you know, these certain rules, and it was black or white. But on my spiritual path, I've learned it's not. It's just this, it's a relationship and it's an understanding of your own truth. And so I think that's one of the biggest things that other people take away from this course is understanding what that is for them. So it's not me telling you what it is, it's helping you understand what that is for you. And this is like freedom, right? This is everything, is to have that connection to your higher power, whatever that looks like to you, because that is where we get our energy from, right? That's where we have the divine like downloads. That's where we are guided in our lives. That's where like we know what to do next. That's our intuition. That's everything. So that would be the second one I'd say. And then I would say the third one is just having more energy in general. Because, you know, a lot of people, like when we start on the root chakra, a lot of people don't realize how low energy they have and how like their thoughts and their behaviors and their actions and not being rooted and grounded is actually blocking them from having this energy, like a lot of energy. And so just doing that, that gives them just way more energy. So those are the top three: better relationships, a spiritual relationship of their own understanding, and more energy.
I love it. I definitely got all of those from taking it.
Yes.
So just like writing out some of these questions too, and like thinking about what I was going to ask you, I feel like you've definitely taught me a lot about alignment, and it's just so funny because I feel like I probably did make the connection between the chakras and alignment, but not like literally the feeling associated with alignment. I don't know. But so I wanted to ask you kind of a couple alignment questions. So what does being in a state of alignment feel like to you? What are you doing? Who are you with? Etc.
It feels like flow. It feels like I'm not, like the opposite of resisting, right? It just feels like fun and flow and openness, and I'm doing work and I'm doing things, but it doesn't feel like that, you know? So there's a difference between like when you can do the same thing, but when you're in alignment of doing that, when you're doing that thing, it feels like you have so much energy and it's so fun and like, you know, you're just on top of the world. But if you're not in alignment and you're doing that thing, then it feels like the hardest thing ever. And you're just like trying to force yourself and you're just not wanting to do it and all of those things, right? So to me, alignment is just when your energy is connected and with the action that you're taking from the highest place, from your highest truth, so that it feels good. It just feels good. That's the best way I can describe it. It feels good and you know it's right, right? So like when you're not in alignment, that's when you're forcing something. That's when you're doing something just because you think you should be doing something. So let me give you an example. Okay, when I had graduated college years ago, I didn't know any of this, right? I was not my spiritual path at all. I nowhere on this path at all. And I thought the next thing that I had to do was apply for jobs and go get this job, right? But it felt like the hardest thing in the world, the hardest thing. And it was not fun. It did not feel good. It felt like complete shit, okay? It did not feel good. Not good. Not good at all. But the thing is, as I was not in alignment, it wasn't like going and searching for jobs. I was searching for jobs according to what I just went to school for because that's what I thought I had to do. And I was not tuning into my truth and my alignment and what I was really here to do and connect, right? So then once I did that, then, and everything else that I did, it didn't matter what I did. I ended up working at the front desk at a yoga studio and I didn't even care because that was an alignment, right? That felt good, even though it wasn't what I thought I should be doing. So I tell you that example because I think a lot of your viewers are probably like, you know, a few years out of college and stuff, but that was my experience of like an alignment and not an alignment.
Yeah, and I feel like so many people have come to me, and probably you as well, just like maybe explaining that they're not the happiest with their job or they don't know exactly what they want to do. So I think that's a perfect explanation of kind of just going with what feels good, and kind of writing down the shoulds, because you've like taught me that practice too. And you don't really know what you're telling yourself until you kind of like write it down and like can see it, and then you can kind of change those. So I think that's really important when you're kind of trying to figure out your passions and what you want to do for a career and etc. So I'm glad you touched on that.
Yes.
And then you answered another one. What would be your favorite aspect of being an entrepreneur?
Freedom to be as creative as I want and do what I want, how I want to do it, when I want to do it. That's the best part, honestly. I mean, like, it's kind of like the cliche thing you hear of like, I would rather work 80 hours a week for myself than 40 hours a week for someone else. It's not even about that it's for someone else. It's just about the work that you when you're an entrepreneur and you're doing it for the right reasons, okay? Don't try to be an entrepreneur and do something because you think it'll get you something. You might have success with it right away, but that's not your truth. You need to, the work needs to be in alignment, right? But when you're in that and you're doing that, then it's the most freeing thing ever because you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. You know what I mean? And that feels really good. And you can I want to mention this too. You can be like fulfilling your purpose and doing what you need to be doing, working for someone else, right? We need that. We need those people. But if that's not your truth, then entrepreneurship is like the most freeing thing. And it's also, I think I would say too, I love the growth, the personal development that I experience from it, because it has hands down helped me grow into the person I'm supposed to be more than anything I've ever done in my entire life. Hands down. And I've done a lot of things, I feel like.
Yeah. And just like, even like you said, like you don't have to be an entrepreneur. And I think if you have that calling and you feel kind of like we were both in a similar state, like right after college, I think we were both just feeling that call to be that. And we both take that or work to take that action out of alignment. And when we do it, it just comes naturally and it doesn't feel like work and we love it. And so that's really cool. I would have to say creativity as well.
It's the best.
So you have the title of like Zen Babe and are the founder of the Zen Babe tribe. So I'm curious if you could pick a couple, I don't want to be repetitive and say 3 again, but if you want to just name a couple items in your home that really stand out to you that, which you probably just fill your house with Zen Babe stuff anyway, but if you just want to pick like 3 must-haves as like
that's a good question. I like that.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, well, okay, my 3 things. The first, obviously you need essential oils, right? That is like the most high vibrational thing, having oils. You can see them all behind me. Those are some. They're all on my desk right now too. High vibrational oils will keep your environment really high vibrational. The second thing, plants. Plants make such a huge difference, and keeping them alive. So you can kind of see a little bit of my plant there, and I think behind me here. Having them in every room helps so much to just bring liveliness and high energy into your home. It's also cleaning the air. It's cleansing the air when you have like live plants in your house. But 2, so many studies show that having live greenery in your environment helps your mood to be uplifted and helps you to be more creative, more focused. So that's another huge one. Okay, what would my 3rd one be? I mean, I'm going to say the 3rd is to, what's the word I want to say? Not minimal, but just throw away things that you don't need. So that was a huge transition for me. I went through this phase where I was like, okay, I'm going to go super minimal, and I got rid of literally 80% of my belongings. And then I kind of transitioned. I'm not like that strict on myself anymore, but I only allow myself to keep in my house just the things that I love. And if I don't love it, then I get rid of it. And this is like so high vibe and feels so good because you have space, but then the space that you have, the things that you have in your space means a lot to you. And so everywhere you look, like your home should feel like your sanctuary. You know, your home should feel like your Zen place, your Zen den. And so if there are things in there, like even if you know you have it, but it's hidden under a bed or in a closet, like you still need to get rid of that, or down in the, you know, in the basement, get rid of it, because that energetically is like holding you back, and it's just a lot of like clutter inside. So the more that you clear the clutter around from you and like literally just purge all the stuff, that's huge.
I love that. Yeah. That's something I've been working on, like even just like when I'm cleaning out my home, or if I'm going to like buy something again, I'm like, do I truly, like, does this make me feel good? And then will I do it again? And do I truly like love it? So yeah, that has helped kind of create like a sanctuary, and then also just like clear space in my head and my environment as well. So Yay. I think we're about time. So if anyone has questions, I can kind of scroll through. And if you want to just kind of let them know where they can find you, where they can find the challenge, I just wanted to kind of connect people to you that way.
Yeah, totally. So follow me on Instagram because we're on Instagram. Alisha Leytem. Follow me there. And then if you want to join the Chakra Challenge, tomorrow is going to be day 3. And just come and join us where we're at. Just go to alicialeytem.com/one-word Chakra Challenge, or you can just click the link in my bio and find me there. I'm also Alisha Leytem on Facebook and on YouTube. So you can find a lot of my videos there as well. Or if you just want to get everything all at once, just go to zenbabetribe.com and sign up, and then you'll get access to everything.
Perfect.
Yay.
Yeah.
Do we have questions?
Yeah, I didn't see any questions, just a lot of positive feedback. They're loving it. Mom, I'm loving your comments. And yes, I have a whale cup.
You spirit animal? Is whale a spirit animal?
It started out as a joke, but yeah, I'm going to claim it as my spirit animal now.
I love it.
Yeah.
So good.
And then I just was going to ask you if you have a little message on your heart or one last piece of advice for everyone that's watching. I'd love for you to share.
Well, honestly, the first thing that came to me is just like this spiritual journey is really just a journey of learning how to be yourself. And I feel like this is something that is taking me years and years to like fully understand. And it's so cliche because you hear it all the time, just be yourself, be yourself, be yourself. But truly, when you like allow yourself to truly just be yourself, no matter what, you will experience freedom. And you will be guided to what it is you're supposed to be doing. And that will make you the happiest more than anything in the world, I promise you. Just be yourself.
I love it. And with all the Oprah talk lately, that's just too perfect.
Yeah.
Speak your truth, everyone.
Speak your truth. Be yourself. That's it. Mic drop. Oprah.
Well, thank you so much for joining me and being the first guest on this live cast.
Yay.
It was fun.
So fun. This is very cool. I'm so grateful and honored to be here. I think you're amazing. And thanks for having me.
All right. We'll probably upload this to Facebook so you can share with all your followers too.
Hey.